When I finished university, I literally printed out about 50 CVs, my own CVs, and went from my home on foot, knocking on every food processing company I know, close to about 10, 20 kilometers away from my home. I walked, I gave out all those CVs. Some people, of course, yeah, it's not there. Some people, yeah, come back later. Some people leave it here. And as you're leaving, you hear, gone. Unlike many of my siblings, I would have the privilege to go to many of these nice schools within the country and even out of the country. And even with her best efforts, she would not afford the education that I've gone through. I noticed every single thing that we were able to get, she had to work tooth and nail to get it. Did you know, by the way, the food that you eat on the aircraft, every single gram is measured?
No, I did not.
Yeah, he gets 100 grams, you get 100 grams, you get 100 grams of each.
And you measure it to the
dot.
How do you check for everything? How do you ensure every single meal meets a certain quality mark?
The thing is, all these businesses are set up on the premise of systemization. If you can't systemize, you can't scale. And if you're to service close to 10 to 20,000 meals a day, it means you need to have systems in place to ensure. One,
do you have like a figure, an amount of money that you're trying to reach for, and you know, if you get to this amount, the rest of your life will be set?
Between me and you?
Yes. Hey everybody, welcome back to Financially Incorrect Uganda edition. I am your host, Barack, and of course, if you know that I'm here, it means I have a money story for you. I hope you have been enjoying the content we've been putting out. Again, I'm not 100% sure what the sequence of this episode is going to be because we've done like a bulk shoot, but I hope you've been enjoying the content. I hope you've been relating to it. Please do put in the comment section other people that you'd like us to interview in Uganda for the next time that we are going to be here. We should be here. My hope would be before the end of the year. So please let us know who else you'd like us to interview, and we'll try to ensure that we can get that done. But as for today, I have none other than Reagan Kawuma, who we actually had an event with him, a financial literacy event that we held at Cavendish University. That was really good. He spoke very profoundly that I told him we need to come and speak on the podcast and hear his money story. He's a quality assurance professional and a small business growth expert. Welcome to Financially Incorrect.
Thanks, Barack. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for hosting me.
You're most welcome. Let me actually ask you, what's your Instagram handle?
Instagram is Reagan Kawuma.
And are you on TikTok?
I am on TikTok, but small. That's small.
Okay.
When it comes to IG and TikTok, there's a lot of demand for video content.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get my video game in order.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the most scary thing for you about video?
About video, the tech, the tools, but worse, the editing. Because it's easy to sit down in front of a camera, but the post-production that happens to actually put the video out there, it's something I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it can be quite taxing.
I need to think about this deeply before I go in.
My first question for you
is,
who is the greatest person you have ever met?
The greatest
person you've ever met, and why are they the greatest person you've ever met?
Depends on what you mean by great.
Your own definition. Your own definition.
By great?
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's been a gentleman, not mate, but I have actually encountered remotely. It's called Joe Dispenza.
Joe Dispenza.
Yeah. Okay. If you go on YouTube and you type in Joe Dispenza, you know he's a mindset, paradigm shift kind of person. And he opened my mind up to something that has forever changed my life, which is we tend to look at ourselves as creatures that depend on factors that are without us, versus we innately have the ability to change the circumstances that we live in. So for me, that was very profound because when I was growing up, I was one who believed that life is really as a result of the things that happen to you. But then I meet this guy on YouTube as I was searching, because within my 20s and my early 20s actually, like any other young man, I felt there is much more for me to do. Just not live by, wake up, get a salary, and then go home. And as I sought, I wanted to know, is there something I could do within the now that could perhaps change my trajectory? That's how I landed on Joe Dispenza, and he said that at the end of the day, we all have the power within ourselves to determine the course of our lives. For me, that was profound. That's how I chose to actually come out because I used to live in the shadows. I feared to be known. I feared to know people to know that I do this, I can do this, I can talk about this. But then I felt if I could go out and speak my own truth, my realities, maybe I could change the course of my own life and determine how far I could perhaps go. That's how really my life changed, and that's how really I've become the man I am today.
Awesome. I mean, when you say you now, go out as opposed to living in your shadow, what's that practical example of that you can give, where you can tell me, before I met Jody Spencer and my mindset shifted, I would have done X, but now with my new mindset, I've now been able to do Y?
Yeah, for example, before then, I believed that, as a young person, I believed that I have to simply just go to school, get a job, and live life, and that's it. But this gentleman opened my mind to believe that beyond just that, everyone has a star. And that star is something that if you choose to reach out to, it's within your reach. And every single thing that you choose to do to reach out eventually will make sense. How? We have perhaps gone through experiences as people, and these experiences define who we are. And if you choose to use these experiences to actually tell your story, they will become eventually your journey. They'll become your truth. And they'll become written in eternity as that's Barack forever. But that should not be the case for Barack. That should not be the case for Reagan. If you actually choose today to actually get up and say, okay, this is a story I want Reagan to be defined by, that becomes your new reality. So I wake up every day and say, okay, how do I want people to know me? Do I just want to die in the shadows? Or do I want to wake up today and actually say, I want to create a story about myself in this line of, I am a young person, I'm an African, I'm trying to build businesses, I'm trying to be successful, and this is my journey. I may not have it all together, but this is what I've learned, and this is where I'm going. For me, that has empowered me to actually create a path for myself versus looking at life as something that happens to me, versus it's something that I can make happen the way I choose it to be.
Right.
So it's really been a life-changing journey for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the star that you're reaching out for.
Exactly.
Basically.
Exactly. Because I know we all have those stars.
Yeah.
I know as Barack, as we talked before,
Yeah.
you were once a lawyer.
Yes. Well, I still am. But
Yes, practiced law.
Practicing law, yeah.
But right therein, there's a star that you have, perhaps, that we're now profiting from.
Yes.
We are here in this podcast because you reached out for a star, and this star is right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess now to get to your money stuff,
Yeah.
right? What does money mean to you?
Money means freedom. Money means ability, because many things without money cannot happen, especially in the system that we live in. To afford something, you have to transact, and money is a tool that we use to do that. So for me, money means ability, money means freedom. Freedom to be able to achieve, freedom to be able to do things that potentially without money you're not able to do, such as have access to a house. Money, have access to good education. Money, freedom not to be certain things. Because with money you have access to particular rights, to particular freedoms that an ordinary person might not be able to have.
Yeah.
You have freedom to also just wake up and sit here and have a conversation without worrying, what's the time? I need to run back and do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. Do you have like a figure, an amount of money that you're trying to reach for, and if you get to this amount, the rest of your life will be set?
Between me and you,
Yes.
no figure, because I know it's never enough. It's never enough. But I want to have enough to be able to impact others greatly. So if I can have enough for me to have impact on this continent, for starters, I will be a very fulfilled man. I'm not looking to go to Asia, no. I'm not looking to go to Australia and impact Australians, no. For me, I know the African child has had very few opportunities. And if the money I have can help me to create opportunities for the African child, that's something I want to have. That's the money I want to have. For now, I don't think I have a figure, because it can be billions.
Yes.
It can be zillions or bazillions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you've said money is never enough.
Yeah.
In your money journey, have you ever been content with the amount of money that you make?
Honestly, no. I have never, because between me and you know that the higher you go, the more needs sometimes. And the more needs, the more money is required. And true, at the end of the day, if you are content, contentment for me is not something I really want to have. Because honestly, if you want looking to achieve something great, you shouldn't be content. That's why we are here in Uganda having this podcast. If we were content, we would just be in Kenya. But looking for growth, looking for value and impact, I don't think I'm looking at a certain number. I'm like, I'll be content if I have this much.
Yeah.
No.
So where's the space for gratefulness or not gratitude in your money ecosystem or money understanding? Because if you can't be content, or if you don't have an element of being content, then it's very easy to never be gracious and never have gratitude for what it is that you even have.
I had this conversation recently with a friend of mine. They're telling me, you have to be grateful. And I was telling them, I am only grateful if I've not worked towards something. I'm very controversial like that sometimes.
Okay.
I'm only grateful if I've not worked towards something. If you came as Barack and landed me $1 million, I would be grateful.
Okay.
But if I wake up every day and show up and make sure things are done, I think I'm not grateful. I deserve it. I deserve to have it. So I'm not grateful. I'm actually glad it has come because I've worked my everything off to make sure it's come to me. Right. Yeah.
I can understand that logic. I mean, I understand the line of thinking there. When did you pick up this understanding around money that you have, especially around gratefulness and working hard and deserving? When did it come in your lifespan? When did you develop this mindset?
I grew up in a family where my dad wasn't really in a very good position to provide. And I noticed my mom worked really hard, really hard. We're about 4 kids. Really hard to make
You are
sure.
about to, are they more or less?
I have no guarantees. I have no guarantees. You can't offer those guarantees in Africa.
Right.
She happens. So about 4 kids that I know. So I noticed this woman worked hard, like every other African mother. But I noticed it was never enough. And she really wished us well because, unlike many of my siblings, I would have the privilege to go to many of these nice schools within the country and even out of the country. And even with her best efforts, she would not afford the education that I've gone through. She wouldn't. And I noticed every single thing that we were able to get, she had to work tooth and nail to get it. And for me, I told myself, okay, if this woman with a little education that she has, the few networks that she has been able to provide this much for us. How much more if you skill yourself? How much more if you equip yourself and work consistently, smartly, and hard? How much more can you achieve? That's when my mind changed to say, okay, I think I can determine the course of my life. Because I could choose and widow like everyone else. I come from a poor background, but all of us do. All of us do. Even those that don't will get on the mic and say, I come from a very humble background. Stop lying.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, so I decided from then, I think I'm going to determine how far I have to go going forward. And if I honestly work hard for something, I deserve it.
Okay. And I hope you don't mind me asking, what is it that your parents did, and what is it that hindered your dad from being able to provide? Is it the economic situation?
It was a medical situation.
Okay.
It was a medical situation.
Yeah.
He was a bit handicapped and he couldn't do that.
Okay.
So my mom had to do most of those things, and she still does for a few of my other cousins and my younger siblings.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then what did she do to make money?
Yeah, so see, I remember when we were really young, I would have to go to school, and my mom tried everything. From farming, 2 birds, 3 birds, 5, 10 birds that would die off. She would try to start a small bakery in the house. Things would get burnt. And for me, I think part of my entrepreneurial journey also started in a subtle way from the things I saw my mom doing. Because she would see small opportunities here and there, would go to school, and she would pack for me breakfast. And then she would notice the other kids going to some school with me. So she would reach out to the canteens and like, can I pack this for my son and also give it to you so that you can sell it for me to make money? I'm like, okay. So when I saw my mom doing these things, I told myself, I think I can do something similar with my life. And literally the first thing I did when I finished my primary school was in my vacation, pre-university. There's a hospital we have next to our home. I noticed that this hospital was in a very strange spot. It's uphill, and
everything here is uphill.
Uganda, everything is uphill.
Yeah.
No, wait, in Kenya there's no hills?
No, I mean there is, but like this Kampala, like it's literally like.
Yeah, they call it the city of 7 hills.
Yeah.
So not many kiosks would be set up along the journey for patients to actually buy something. And people would have to pack their own food to go to the hospital, stay there for days. And these health centers, they could take hundreds of patients. So when I was in my vacation, I went there to take someone for treatment. And I saw how hungry people were. Mark you, these are sick people. People were yawning their way to death because there's no food, there's no access to simple basic snacks. So I asked myself, okay, how about I actually offer these people an alternative? Guess what I did? I went back home. We had a blender. I blended juice because I know, these guys are sick, so no offense to them, but they need something healthy. So how about I create an alternative, an option for them? So I went back. Same day, this guy is seated in a queue waiting for him to be called. I ran back home. I buy a few fruits, blend them, come back with a tray with a dozen of juices. These things sold out in an hour. I was like, okay, wait. So you mean it's this simple? That's the light bulb moment. Ever since then, every time I would get opportunity, I would tell my mom, this is what I want to do. She's like, you know what? Go ahead. Go and do it. She's had so many opportunities where, I tell her, what, I'm going for a podcast here. Something as simple as this. I'm like, I'm going for this. She's like, when you're on the podcast, please mention my name and say, hey, greetings to mom. And I'm fully supporting you. I'm like, yeah. So that kind of vibe, that kind of energy of, what, you can do it. We believe in you. You can make this happen. Someone is believing in you somewhere here and there. Has really given me the push to actually be this person that I am today.
Like in that instance you've told us where you were making juice, where did you even get the money to buy the fruit in the first place? Because it seemed like money was tight at home.
Money was tight, but post high school, I'd saved up some money for myself. Because you're going in vacation for about 4 months plus. You'll be low on cash. As a result, any intelligent student or person, you think about saving this money. So they'll give us pocket money. Of course, knowing the drought coming, you save some of it. So with that money, I noticed if I do this, I can multiply this money. And that's how I started. Unfortunately, the career was short-lived. I blew up the blender. Before the weekend, I blew up the blender. It tarnished our relationship with my mom. But she understands. A hustle is a hustle. I had to do something.
I see what you mean. Basically, I want to ask about, because you mentioned earlier that sometimes fees was a problem. So how did you, when you look back now, how were you able to afford going through primary and secondary school?
I'll be honest with you, to give you the African context, or Ugandan context here. Many parents afford to take their kids to school because they take loans. These loans from the loan sharks are what keep these kids in school, especially the good schools. So for me, I noticed my mom had a group of women. They would save money up together. They call them circles. In South Africa, we used to call them stockwells, where you put money together in a pool and everyone who has a need would dish out the money and then they'll pay back slowly. So that's how I was able to afford school, besides my mom's side hustles that would chip in here and there, but they'll not do much because she could not scale them. She was a working woman with kids, with work, with a family, and all these things. So most of her education, other than her salary, was mostly the loans she would get from the loan sharks.
Okay. Oh, so she was a professional. Like she is a professional. It's just these other things were side hustles, whether it was the baking or the
Yes.
break or whatever. All of those were side hustles.
All those are side hustles.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's her profession? What's her specialty?
She's a medical officer.
Okay.
She's a
Okay.
medical
All right.
officer.
I guess that makes sense. So when you then finish your secondary school,
Yeah.
how then do you decide what you want to study for your career? And is money a factor or consideration for you at all?
Partly yes, but like any other child, I wanted to be a doctor. Fortunately, you got to be a lawyer. Yeah, we wanted to be all those things: accountant, lawyer, engineer.
Yes.
I wanted to be a doctor. I think also partly because of how I was raised. My mom is a medical officer, and then somehow, in a subtle way, subconsciously, maybe you're driven in that line.
Yes.
I wanted to be a doctor because I felt I would be of value that way, considering how much my mom has been of value. So maybe I could do the same. Unfortunately, I missed by a few grades to get government sponsorship because I wanted to have the degree on government sponsorship. Because I knew if I do that, I would alleviate the pressure, financial pressure, on this beautiful woman. So, but it didn't happen. I got my second option, which was food science and technology. And that's how I ended up in this space. Not because it was my favorite, it was my second option.
But you were government sponsored for
Yes,
for that course?
For that time. So,
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a plus. I have a much bittersweet.
Yes.
Yeah, but eventually it alleviated the pressure that she was experiencing.
Okay.
So most of my needs now were just making sure I have something to eat at school.
Yes.
And yeah, but accommodation, tuition were taken care of by the government of Uganda.
Okay. And so you said so accommodation, tuition is catered for.
Yeah.
Do they give you a bursary or an amount of money for some sort for your...
Living expenses?
Yes.
They used to, but man. Oh, Christ. I love my government.
Yes.
Yeah.
But by the time you were there, they
They
were
were giving, but
they
it
were
wasn't
giving.
enough.
Or how much?
It was
how
less
much
than
is it?
$50.
Less than
Per
50.
semester.
How much
Per
is that
semester.
in...
About 200,000.
you got UGX?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
and you would have to wait for months for it to come. Mark you, the semester has started about 2 months in.
Yes.
And it comes after you've eaten everything else you have. So it was a hassle.
How much would you spend on average when you're in university on social stuff?
Social
Or
general living?
Yeah, general living.
Living, assume lunch is about 5,000. Supper is about the same. Transport, a day about 20,000, averagely for a young person. University, yeah, roughly.
So even that 200,000 is basically like...
Half of that
Yeah.
for the month.
Yes,
you.
that's 2
But
weeks.
this is supposed to be for 3 months, the 200,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it wasn't really making sense.
So I mean, is everybody, when you're in university, is everybody in your class or in your cohort also doing entrepreneurial activities to
No,
get
no, no,
more
no,
money?
no. We have the super students. I was a super student, but because of my background, my mind was opened up to that option to think out of my current circumstances, to always assume what happens if this thing leaves. So somehow I was forced to think beyond my degree. And I would start to also do other things within my degree, as I told you in the session we had, to see what happens if I'm done with school and I don't have a job. What will I do? So not everyone was actually having the entrepreneurial mindset. Many of them, some of them were really, let me just get my degree, leave, get a job, and live life. But for me, no, it wasn't the case, and it's still not the case. I have a job, but I still have other things I'm doing, which people call side hustles, but they're like literal hustles, serious hustles. Yeah, that pay people, that often come in for me when I need them. Yeah, so yeah.
That's where that came from. Okay. And I want to talk a bit about, because yes, on the panel you talked about how you became essentially a loan shark of some sort.
Yeah.
Right, after becoming a student leader. So can you tell us a little bit about that? Yeah.
Okay, so when I was in my second year, I told you, I was a student leader. And being a student leader, I was exposed to events. Events often would happen at university. Almost every day you'd have an event somewhere. And if an event is to happen, there is cake in between somewhere. And you know, you would see how people struggle to get this cake to actually manifest. Barack, 10,000. Collins. So I told myself, okay, how about I make this easy for people? I'll subsidize, make it available, and make sure delivery is on time.
Yes.
You're sure you can count on me. I'm your guy. I'm always here. You can always hug on me in case of anything. I'll give you a good price. So that's how I got into this. And I started that business because I saw my mom doing that, but also I had an auntie who was an events, rest in peace to this lady. She was an events person. She would create cake. She would do cake for weddings and all those things. So within my vacation, I had taken some time off to go to her place for me to learn this skill. African parents, or Ugandan parents in this case, have a thing. When you're in high school vacation here, they tend to send you to do something. Perhaps go to an uncle's shop, go to an uncle's business, go somewhere, but do something in your 6 months so that it's not wasted. So fortunately for me, I went to my auntie's place and she was a baker. She taught me how to bake. So right within that moment, I remember that I have a skill that I could take advantage of. I didn't even have a cook at home. So I remembered my mom used to bake. She had a makeshift, rudimentary bakery. Take it that way. Charcoal, firewood kind of bakery. You literally set up like bricks and put in firewood. And my guy, to regulate the heat of that thing, you bake through 10 cakes to get one. Good
Yeah.
It was a hustle. But yeah, so I told myself, I think I can do something about this and I will make money out of the same. So I went back, I showed my mom the idea. I'm like, hey, what happened to your oven, the mighty oven?
Yes.
She told me, if you want it, I can rebuild it.
Yes.
I was like, okay, let's make this happen. So she rebuilt it for me, and I did a few trials. Eventually, I got the balance right of the heat. Yeah. So I made my first cake. It was someone's birthday. They loved it. I was like, okay. The next week, I went and made business cards. Now I'm a guru. I can tell you about cake. I have my name there, CEO, what. After one cake. Yes. I'm now a CEO, business professional. Yeah, but yeah, I eventually got my business cards because I knew I was onto something. And then business cards were a thing. If someone asks you about your business, you just pull a business card. Exactly. So I made business cards. And that's how I used to spread them. And eventually I got gigs where I would make cake almost every 3 days of the week. It was hectic, but I would make money.
How much are you selling the cakes for? How much would it cost you to make?
Ugandan shillings, a small cake will be about 40,000.
Okay.
40,000 with margins of about 10,000.
Okay.
Yeah, which is good money. So if you make like 4 of those, you have about 40,000.
40,000.
Yeah,
Okay.
and in a week about 100,000 plus. It's about $30. It's not so much, but it's very good money for a student
Yes.
who has a degree but also is doing something for themselves. So I ended up accumulating some money on the side over time, and this is now what I would use to actually source investment opportunities. Because now I have to scale beyond myself. I'm a baker, but I need to make more money. So when I would see opportunity, like I told you of that friend of mine who wanted to start a printing shop within our room. Tell him, don't hustle. I have the money. I can invest. How much do you need? Give me a quote. Give him the money.
The printer was what? What do you remember how much it was?
About 400,000, yes.
Yeah.
So we started to print money, not literally,
Yes.
but print money.
Yeah. Because students now are coming to print
Exactly.
stuff from
in
your
the
room.
wee hours of the night,
Right.
assignments are tight and all. You're like, yeah, print that money. Yeah. So it was a hustle, but a good one.
Okay, so that's an entrepreneur, I guess, how it expresses itself when you're in university.
Exactly.
Okay. So by the time you finish, because you've talked about being wary of finishing and not having a job.
Yeah.
So how do you begin to elevate those worries? When you're in your last year of university, does that mean you now start doing a lot of applications? Does it mean you're networking and going to different spaces? And based on what you studied, what were your career options anyway?
My career options are very limited because many students in Uganda who do food processing or food science end up in the industry because they need people to ensure quality assurance or quality control. So most of them end up in factories or agro-processing units somewhere. If you're lucky, you end up with an NGO as a nutrition something. But those are few because eventually over time, we noticed that people started to do degrees in nutrition, human nutrition.
Yes.
And
So
they
they
were
were
direct
gonna take
competitors to us, so you couldn't hustle them.
Yeah.
So you had to stay in the industry. So that's the line that I had to take, so there are no options for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you even just define for us what you do, like now on a daily
What
basis?
I do now?
But no, with the quality assurance in food processing.
Yeah.
Like what exactly is the job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My current place of employment is at Entebbe Airport. I work with an organization or company whose name I will not mention, but their job is to ensure that food gets on your aircraft. And I am the guy that ensures you have food that is good and safe for you on your flight. So my job is, from the get-go, from ensuring you have good supplies of raw materials, raw food materials, to the cooking of that food, to the checking of that food from every single gram. Did you know, by the way, the food that you eat on the aircraft, every single gram is measured?
No, I did not.
Yeah, he gets 100 grams, you get 100 grams, you get 100 grams of each. Figuratively, yes. If it's 200 grams of chicken, you all get 200 grams of chicken. Yeah.
And you measure it to the
dot.
Okay.
To the dot. Except if you're in business class.
Yes.
Then we can up the numbers.
Right.
You're like a boss.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what I do to ensure that what the airline expects their clients to eat, I provide it as per their specifications of how much of this, how much protein of this, how much veg, how much starch, what temperatures, what quantities. So that's my job, to oversee the entire process from the beginning to the time it lands on your aircraft.
So does that mean you go to where the suppliers, you go to where the suppliers are coming from?
Yes.
And how do you then, I guess what I'm doing is how do you check for everything? How do you ensure every single meal meets a certain quality mark? It seems like a very tedious and very taxing process.
Very. Yeah. The thing is, all these businesses are set up on the premise of systemization. If you can't systemize, you can't scale. And if you're to service close to 10 to 20,000 meals a day, it means you need to have systems in place to ensure, one, the suppliers you have meet a particular set of requirements. So my job is to come and say, oh, Barack, what do you want to supply? Irish potatoes. Okay, we want Irish potatoes, this size, this hygiene, with this maybe level of blemish. Can you provide that? Good. Can you have someone else prove that you can consistently do it? So you get an auditor to do that, confirm that you can actually do it. And there are systems in place to ensure we don't have problems every single time. So once I confirm that, then we onboard you, we start to work with you. Now internally as a system, we have people who oversee these small details. So we ensure that maybe for every 100 meals, we'll sample a few to see that they meet those requirements. So that way, everyone is happy, we are happy, the customer is happy.
So for every batch of food that's produced, you sample, randomly sample.
Randomly sample. So I'll come and pick some of your chicken you eat today. I have a piece. I'm kidding. Yeah, but I will sample some of it.
Yes.
But I have a team that does that. So my job is to oversee that these things are happening and happening as they expected.
And like even based on what you're talking about, the weight of it. So you'll sample it based on the tastes.
Yeah, exactly.
And also the
taste, weight, appearance, presentation. For example, if you looked at all your meals in your class, for example, if it's business class or economy class, you notice maybe it's chicken first, the veg next maybe, and the starch. Same. So there's that bit of consistency and repeatability. So we have people to ensure that is happening for every single meal.
Right.
Yeah, all the 10,000.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting thing.
Okay, so back to, I guess you, in your last year of university.
Yeah.
So what do you do to try and secure a job? What are the things you do immediately?
Yeah, so I reached out to a couple of friends who already had gotten jobs before me. Like, I'm available. Should you have something, please hit me up. Because for me, that level of networking is very important. However much, sometimes it's not guaranteed, because if you're competing within the same space, sometimes it's hard for someone to say, there's a job that I could take up, but take it.
Yes.
It's hard, but still, that's the first level of networking for me. I call it lateral networking, because those are people who easily recommend you. Chances are high that the CEO up there will not even know you exist. So what I did was to reach out to my friends, let them know. Number two, I had relatives that I knew who are in those spaces. Number three, I told my own immediate family, if you know of anyone, please hit me up. I'm your guy. I'll make it done. I would also knock on doors. I'll tell you what's very sad, but also true. When I finished university, I literally printed out about 50 CVs, my own CVs, and went from my home on foot, knocking on every food processing company I know, close to about 10, 20 kilometers away from my home. I walked, I gave out all those CVs. Some people, of course, it's not there. Some people, come back later. Some people leave it here. And as you're leaving, you hear, gone. But so I did all that to ensure something really comes through. Unfortunately, none of them called me, which is a reality of the job market. None of them called me. And it was just one lucky opportunity of maybe a relative who told me there's an opening somewhere. I put in my CV, I went for interviews. I'm a charismatic guy. I was able to ace the interview, and that's when my journey started of employment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, as you then begin your employment, what are they paying you? What are they paying you at your place of work, and what are you doing with your money at that point?
They're paying me money, which I can't mention. Yeah. So, but they pay me decently. Of course, I would want more, as I said. You said the other question is?
And what are you doing with your money at that point?
Yeah, so at this point, what I'm doing with money, my money right now is, number one, as anyone else who earns a salary, one, it takes care of the bills, importantly. But also importantly, I'm saving some for my daughter. I have a young daughter. So I'm putting that away.
By the time you're finishing university, you have a young daughter.
No. I'm speaking in the now.
No, I'm talking about at that point in time.
At that point?
Yes, at that point in time.
At that point, I was just living life and giving out the money. Because I told you, I started to have some money earlier than most of my peers. So I had a problem that every time someone would come to me with a problem, I'll just give them the money. So I had no clear plan for my money then. And I think I regret that, because I think I would have done much more with my money if I had known what I know now, because I had no clear path. I would earn money and just sit there. Then perhaps you have a funeral, I'm like, no problem, please go.
Yes,
we need this or we need that, go, have this. My siblings say, have this. So being that for me, money was something that I saw as a tool to help people, it was easy for me to keep spending it. Yeah.
So when you get your first salary, you're not really saving
nothing.
Much. You're
nothing.
Spending everything.
Spending it every single day.
What are within your career, what are the potential job growth opportunities? Like, where do you start, and what are the different levels you can get to? And are you able to give me a pay range of what people can expect at these levels as well?
Okay.
As you go up?
Unfortunately, there are not that many levels.
Okay.
So here's a problem.
Yeah.
When you go out of university, you'll be essentially a quality controller.
Okay.
Somewhere in someone's company. And then
you don't even start as an intern, you start immediately as a quality
intern, because the thing in Uganda is we intern before we work.
Okay.
So when you finish university, you're straight up an employee.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So you be a quality controller. Intern, you don't get paid. You don't get paid anything. Yeah, it's free work. Yeah, you're an intern, so sit your everything here, and then you give us some free labor. But when you become a quality controller, then they start to pay you. Unfortunately, they don't get paid well enough. You'll find salaries ranging from about $100 to
$100.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
What's that in?
That's
in
about
UGX?
360,000.
Okay.
For the small companies, and can stretch up to a good company to about 1.5 million Ugandan shillings.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is a quality controller.
Yeah, it's a quality controller, and that's a good company.
Okay.
Really good company, especially if you're just beginning. Then at that level, chances are between you and the final boss in your industry, you have a quality supervisor. And then quality supervisor, you have an assistant quality manager, and then quality manager.
Okay.
I am at boss level now, quality manager.
Yeah.
So just saying
Just
it.
saying,
Just saying, just laying it there so that you know. You might forget that important part. But so you have quality supervisor. Now, quality supervisor will supervise the quality controllers. Of course, they will earn slightly more, depending on which company, between 500,000 to about 2.5 million.
Okay.
Then you have an assistant quality manager who now oversees maybe a few quality supervisors.
Yeah.
And that will stretch between, depending on the company, about 1.5 million for a small company.
Okay.
To about, give or take, 3 million.
Okay.
Most companies, assistant quality manager. Then you have quality managers who now oversee the entire facility and everything. Salaries again depend on the company. A good company, about 2 million. Then a standard company that pays standard wage would be about 4, 6, 7, 8 million and above.
Okay.
Yeah, so it depends on the nature of the company. If you work for multinational, you could even have a good one like 10 million or even more.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are the growth opportunities for you? So like right now you're saying, you're at the boss level.
Yeah. So there's no growth.
Like what's
now for me,
what's next for you?
Now there's nothing next for me except to come and work for another company or move to another country and work as a regional something. Perhaps you could be a regional quality manager.
Right.
If you have a company that has a matrix, you can be that.
Right.
My company does, but I think I'm not looking at regional stress
at the moment.
I'm okay with this stress and my side hustle.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so we've gone to the part where, back to your story, we've gone to the part where you've just out of university, all of your money you're giving it out to whomever may require it. During that phase, what's the next monumental thing that happens in your money journey? What's the next thing that wakes you up?
It will be academic first.
Okay.
Because I worked for about 4 years, and then I got a scholarship that was sponsored by the MasterCard Foundation, and I left Uganda to go to South Africa. That's how I lived in South Africa for those 4 or 5 years. And
what's life in South Africa like?
Soft life. Soft life. Soft life, my brother. Soft life.
And what are you? Is it a master's you're pursuing?
It was a master's.
Okay.
It was a master's. And when I moved to South Africa, it opened my mind to so much. I would see the scale of business in South Africa versus in Uganda. I was so wowed. Why? In Uganda, bare minimum is enough. You'd go to South Africa, if someone is starting a small restaurant, they go all in. Like they do all this branding, they have all these nice aprons, literally everything is top tier. And I'm like, wow. Like, I don't know how to say it, I was so wowed, like I was so super impressed. Like, we can do so much. Yet we have opportunity here. The market in Uganda is so open, it's so virgin, but then there's so little going on. So my mind was open to do actually great and big things when I come back here. I had the option to stay. I was like, no, I can come back here and do something for myself.
Okay.
And actually do something meaningful. So for me, that was a turning point because I was exposed to so much.
Okay.
So much.
Tell me a bit about how you even got the scholarship. How did you find the opportunity? What was the application like? What are the things you needed to do? How much was it? Did they cover your...
They covered
everything.
Everything. Like
flights, tuition.
One thing about the MasterCard Foundation, it takes care of everyone it works with. Like everything. Everything. So how did I get the opportunity? I had always been seeing these opportunities, different universities across the world. But then my very closest friend, John, now he's in the UK, he was a scholar on the same program.
So what is it called?
It's the MasterCard Foundation Scholars Program.
Okay.
I met very many Kenyans as a result of that program. Yeah, so, because they're also part of the program then. So my friend told me, by the way, in case you'd like to transition and do something else or upskill yourself or upgrade your education, the foundation has something for you. You can put in your application. After having tried a couple of years and nothing had really worked out, I told myself, okay, let me give it a shot one more time.
How many times had you applied?
Bro. A bazillion times. But I was like, nah, this stuff is fake. It's rigged. You need to know someone in this thing. It's perhaps connections.
Yeah.
He told me, no, trust me, these guys are honest. If you're good and you're good, you'll get it.
You'll get it, yeah.
So I put in my application.
One last time.
Like, what? This is it. My last meal, I eat and die.
Yeah.
So I put in my application and I was at work. Someone calls me, hey, I'm calling. I saw the number, +27. I'm like, there must be scammers. I hate scammers. So he calls me like, hey, my name is Sifiso. I'm calling you from South Africa. And we received your application and it looks like it's really impressive. We would like to interview you. Really? Tell me you're playing. He's like, no, I'm not playing. I'm serious. I'm like, okay. Catch my breath. I leave my office because I used to sit here and my boss used to sit there. So I'm like, this is a conversation worth leaving the office. So I picked my phone, I go outside, I'm like, so tell me exactly the truth. Are you playing or not? He's like, no, I'm serious. If you have time tomorrow, we can schedule an interview with you and see if you're a great fit for the program. I'm like, okay, hook me up. I'm going to be interested. He's like, okay. Next day we do the interview There and then they tell me, you know what, you're good fit. When can we arrange for your travel? I'm like,
There and
my
then.
God. Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh my God, because then they didn't have that many Ugandan applicants. Because the process was a bit complex. You have to go verify your documents and yada, 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 a lot of yada, yada, yada. But I'd gone through the trouble to do that. So somehow I had advantage. And when he told me, when can we book your travel? I was like, okay, now this is happening. This is actually happening. I'm leaving this country. Yes, let's do this. So I went, I told my mom. She was so excited. She was so excited. But again, she was skeptical because, you know, like, be careful. What if those people are taking you? And then, you know, you lose a few kidneys. So I told her, let's just trust this and see how far it can go.
Yeah.
And that's how the journey started.
So do you resign?
Yeah, definitely. My bro.
Yeah.
Had to, South Africa. My friend, I have to leave.
So, and how do you then book your travel? Do you resign? You know, because you have to do either the 1 month or do you do it in lieu of your salary?
Bro, I was like, no, salary, it's okay. I have to leave.
Okay.
I told you, it's fine.
Yeah,
in
you
lieu of
can
my
keep-
salary, keep my salary.
And
I'll
you leave. And you leave
I have to
immediately.
leave. This is a good opportunity. I cannot forfeit it for anything.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just left.
Okay. So you go to South Africa.
Yeah.
How long is the master's program for?
It was 2 years.
Okay.
But I had an extra 2 years to do a few other things as part of the onboarding and then transition and all. So it was magical.
So you're in there for 4 years.
Yeah.
So do you do any work in South Africa?
Yeah, I did some work with a company called Dessert Works. Was also baking. I don't know what's wrong with baking at me. Somehow it finds its way to me.
Yes.
So if you have cake, please, I need to eat some cake. I think it's just me and cake.
Okay.
But yeah, so I did some work with them, but it was an apprenticeship with them because my master's was tied to food product development. So I was tied to them for some time to pick up the skill and So eventually when it was done, I enrolled for my master's.
Okay.
Yeah.
And MasterCard covered your costs for those 4 years?
All the years.
Okay.
Yeah, like literally.
So you had no for those 4 years, no financial trouble, no.
Those guys. Someone needs to pay them. Unfortunately, they have the money, but
Yeah.
those guys are really, really, really good people.
Okay.
And I've seen young people's lives changed because of those guys. So they covered everything: transport, food, accommodation, and not hustler accommodation. No, top tier accommodation. The kind of accommodation you have.
This one here.
This one here,
I got a living.
So they make you feel good about being a student.
Yeah.
Now it's no longer about suffering. Focus on your degree. Study, get it,
Finish.
and finish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you come back,
They elevated my esteem, I should say that.
Yeah.
Those guys elevated my esteem. You know, I used to look at myself as a struggling African child and but they put you in spaces where you're like, you need to shine.
Yeah.
You need to bring out your best self.
you're not struggling.
You're not struggling now. It's not about the money now. Get this degree, show these guys what you're made of.
Yes.
Man, by the time you leave the foundation, you feel like, man, you come back to Uganda and you're like, guys, we can do this. We can do this. Your esteem, your mindset just changes completely. And for me, I think also it kind of made me who I am right now because then I was very shy. I didn't want to come and people know who I am. What do I do? What can I do? Now I just need 20% and I am good. We'll get the 80 later. Let's start with this 20.
Yeah.
And that's what this thing did for me.
Okay.
It was a game changer.
I mean, yeah, it does sound like it. Sounds like a real mindset shift, right? Okay, so you come back to Uganda.
And people ask me, why are you back here? Don't you see the suffering here?
Yeah. First of all, within those 4 months, do you come back at all?
Yeah, I was coming back
Oh, you're
every
coming and
December.
going. Okay.
Every December
all
for
right,
Christmas
all right.
holidays. Yeah, I
Okay.
would come back.
Okay.
I would come back, yeah.
So people are disappointed that you're back.
Yeah. My mom told me, why, my son? Why? Why are you doing this to us?
Yeah.
I told her, no, I have to do it. Because if I stay there, honestly, I've seen there's a lot of opportunities here that might not be there. And if I was to start there, I have to start big. Here, I just need 20%, and we can get the ball going.
Yes.
So she's like, okay, if you trust your instincts, then go for it.
Okay.
Go for it. But I could feel the disappointment as a parent. Like, why?
Okay, so tell me now, financially, when you're coming back from South Africa, what's your financial position at that point? Do you have any savings?
Yes,
Do you have...
exactly. So I had saved up some of the money that I had from the foundation, the living stipends and everything. And that's literally what I used to start my very first business here, a brick and mortar business. I have an optical center that I run, and it stems from my eye problems. And medical care in Uganda is also a bit weird. Very weird, I'll tell you. If you don't have the money, sometimes getting a service is a mess. You have to make long queues. There are people who go to the hospital at 5 a.m. just to be worked on at 3 p.m.
5 a.m.
5 a.m. to be worked on at 3 p.m. And with the most renowned medical facility we had, you'd have hundreds of people lining up. Someone wants a new eye, someone wants glasses. So all those problems, you have to queue and wait to be worked on. So when I came back from South Africa, I asked myself, wait, so I have to endure this again? Having seen opportunities there and what could be done, I told myself, no, I think I can do something about this. So I got the money that I had, and I met a friend who was working in the industry already. I asked them, so what does it take for someone to do something like this and make eye care accessible? And besides also affordable, because it costs an eye and a leg
to get that.
to get an eye. So you lose both eyes.
In the process of trying to fix your eye.
You lose an eye. So it's as good as nothing.
Yeah.
So I told them, how many people are frustrated? They have to make these long queues in this sunshine. No umbrella, you have to stand for hours.
The humidity.
Exactly, everything. So they gave me the idea and they quoted for me what is required. I told them, I have about 70% of that. We can actually start this. That's how I went in, I got the licenses, I got everything, and we set up something really pretty and nice. It's a very small space like you see here, but it's doing a great job. So far, I've been able, I think, to close about 1,000 returning customers that keep coming back to us in the space of 4 years. So I've survived the 3 years of African business. They never survived that bullshit. No, it's not happening to me. It will not happen to me. It will not happen to me.
Okay.
So now, when I have people who have issues with their eyes, especially just basic visual issues, I need to get prescription light, I can't see, I'm short-sighted, such things, we close them fast for you. In an hour, you have your glasses. That had never happened. You have to wait for a week to get glasses. Here I am, a young man. I'm not even an optician. I'm a food scientist. But because I know people in the business and how to get things done, I get your glasses in 1 hour. So everyone I would close will tell their friend, tell their family, will tell them, like, wow, this guy is in Kampala. If you go to him same day, 1 hour you have your glasses. That's how eventually became a hit for me.
What's my question? What kind of innovation did it require for you to do for that to happen? Because if you're saying if for the rest of the market or the rest of the industry standards is 1 week, what are the things that you're putting into your business model that's allowing you to turn this around in 1 hour? I think that takes 7 days for other people to turn around.
7 days, one, because they want to buy enough lead time for themselves to do whatever they want to do without you putting them on pressure. On this end, I understand the needs of the client. For many of us who use glasses, you understand glasses can become a need. Like I wake up to my glasses, I watch TV with my glasses, I use my computer with my glasses. So a week is not even a luxury, it's death.
You can't see.
Death to me, literally I can't see, I can't drive without glasses. So I understood that and I knew, okay, if I'm to have glasses pushed out fast, I need to have access to equipment that can cut these glasses out and put them out. So I reached out to a few people I knew here and in China. We're able to have access to that equipment. We got it. So it meant we can turn around orders really fast, really fast. You come to us, and because right now our business has not been overwhelmed, we can easily help customers come in and out in less than an hour. So that for me, innovation-wise, was important. Also, innovation-wise, very simple. Of course, for many of us, when you hear innovation, we think you need to buy a gadget. But innovation is how do you solve the problem from another angle.
Yes.
Medical care, again, as I've told you, is again tricky in Uganda. It's about, hey, next, come. Don't waste time, out. Like, there's no customer service, literally. Like you come in, they're doing, you're paying for a service, but it's like they're doing you a service to
do you a favor.
You understand? It's actually a favor. Thank you very much to give you the service. What do you want? Go back. So I'm like, okay, how about someone comes in, make them feel comfortable, make them feel like, I'm here to solve your problem, and you will not leave until we've helped you. I gave my people that. And I kept on staying. And every single time they would talk about me or the business as a whole, they would say, 1, you get your glasses first. 2, those people will take care of you. When they will leave, we would call them. Hi, Barak, how was it? How was your experience? Are you having any other issues? And that was, for them, it's totally new. It's something they've never experienced. Like me and you, when you go to hospital, does your doctor call you? No, they don't. Like, deal with it. We give you medicine. But now I call you, I'm like, hey, bro, how are you? You got your glasses? How are things going? Yeah, I'm fine, I'm perfectly well. Okay, no problem. This is my number. Should you have any issues, reach out to me directly. I'll take care of you.
Okay.
With that confidence, we kept on going, and we are still growing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had to ask a question about what the business is doing for you. And again, because obviously I want you to be comfortable to share what you want to share. So I'll ask 3 questions and you can decide which one you want to answer. So one is either based on what these potential 1,000 returning customers means for you from a money perspective. Yeah. Either that one, or you can tell me this business that you've built, what contribution has it had to your net worth? Yeah. What's the percentage of this business to your net worth currently?
It has substituted my entire salary completely. Completely. To the point that I don't have to wait for a salary. And 2, even when it comes, I don't even get to touch it because it's now a cushion for me. It just gets served up, waiting for me, for room for me to scale this business, one, or waiting for me in case I need to do something else that needs that money for me to do it.
Okay, so the business is doing well.
It's doing well.
Okay,
I'm not complaining.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so that's the first business that you sort of set up. How long does it take you to set it up and bring in the equipment? And
about 6 months.
About 6 months.
Yeah, about 6 months. But in between, we would be collaborating with other businesses already doing that. I had to be street smart because I can't wait for equipment for 4 months. I can't. So we have a room like this. Okay, what do we need? Are there people who can perhaps rent me this equipment? So I'll do that. I don't have maybe a doctor. Can I hire one part-time to come and do this? So we did that for about 6 months until we got the stability that we needed to do that. You set up. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So now if you go, okay, so this is one element of revenue generation for you.
Yes.
In terms of your career, how then do you get into the job? How do you get back into the job market? What's that process like?
So when I came back from South Africa, sometimes I feel the opportunity somehow lands when you don't expect it, and there I'm grateful. But when I came back from South Africa, having started this, I was about here for about 2 months. Then someone calls me that I had placed an application because I knew I was coming back here. So I was throwing applications here and there, waiting just in case something lands. So they called me like, hey boss, are you available next week? We need to have a discussion with you. I'm like, okay, I'm available. So I go to the place, which is my current workplace, and we close the deal.
There.
That was the French conversation I talked about.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Just bonjour, done. Come next week and we start this job.
Okay, fantastic. And so then you didn't get your career going.
So I've had it since then, yes.
So within this period, what's your money situation like? What's your how are you spending your money? Clearly, we know we know one investment you've already made, which is in the optical business. Yes. What else are you doing with your money, and where are you living?
I'm living in Entebbe, again for proximity, because I need to be close to the airport. Yeah. So what am I doing with my money? Currently, I'm also investing in other businesses. Yeah. I'm a small time investor. Yeah. So if I see an opportunity and it's within my budget, small budget, I want small businesses. So if you have $1 million business, I'm not the guy. Yeah, talk to Collins. There are guys like that who have a pocket change. Yeah, so I'm not that guy. So yeah, but if you have small opportunities that don't require so much, I can chip in to give you the starting capital. That's one of the things I do. Number 2, I am a coffee farmer. Coffee in Uganda is a long-term investment because in about 4 years, the coffee will have matured to eventually now bring monthly returns for you. Yeah, so I'm into coffee farming.
What year are you in right now in your coffee farming process?
I'm in the 2nd year.
Okay.
About 3rd year, 4th year, it starts to mature. Sure. Okay. Yeah, and my objective is for me, the coming years, I want to be able to add an acre of coffee every single year because when my children grow up, I want them to reap the benefits of this thing.
Okay.
Yeah, because coffee becomes eventually passive income.
Okay.
You don't even need to do anything. It just keeps harvesting, sell off, harvesting, sell off.
What are the costs getting into the coffee space, and what is the potential return?
Potential return is our parents, my dad, the first money we used to have as a result of my dad's working was from coffee. And fortunately, because it's farming, in Uganda there's a lot of land. A lot of land. At least every Ugandan might have access to land. Either renting, leasing, or your family has it somewhere, somehow. So you need land. You need seedling. Just like any other farming venture, you need experience. Because if you don't have experience, then you need to work with people who have the experience. So that you don't make the mistakes that I have made. I have made mistakes in farming that, bro.
What's the biggest financial mistake you made?
It was in
with coffee farming.
It wasn't with coffee.
Okay.
It was in garlic farming. So garlic farming. So you're on radio, and that guy is like, if you invest this much, for example, 500k Ugandan shillings, in 6 months, you bring about 10 million
From 500,000.
500,000.
Okay.
I'm like, but, okay, let's see how this goes. So I convinced my brother, get 500, I get 500. If 500 brings about 10 million,
1 million.
now we just double this thing, blow it. We're driving Lambos in Kampala in 6 months. So Lambo to the moon, let's go. So I get 500,000, he gets 500,000. We go to the chap is deep in the village, he's growing it that side. Unfortunately, I don't know what happens with these things. This is the way your eyes are blocked to see some of these fine details that should warn you it's not going to work. So we reached the guy's farm. He has a very small piece of land. He's telling us he's making millions. It's not even more than an acre. But he has all of us driving to his location to make millions. But we're sold. We're like, okay, it's fine. Let's just try it out. Dude gets a ceiling, gives it to us. We're both working then. We go, we ask our mom, you have some piece of land somewhere. We want to be able to make money, drive Lambos. Want to bowl. We're tired of poverty. We need to scale. So we get the land, we plant the thing. Bro, we bought the garlic. It was about 1 million Ugandan shillings in total. Investing costs of transport, fertilizer, give or take about 4 million in total investment. And after the 6 months, we could not even recuperate 400,000. Bro! No! We went back to the guy, he told us, I don't know where to start from for you. But you're a young man. You can always have a comeback. What do you mean? We come back. I wish I had a machete. How would I clear the brother?
And so that's where your garlic farming.
No, gone. We had a stash in the corner. The entire house was smelling garlic. We couldn't sell it. We gave our relatives, we gave our friends, our bosses, everyone. Like, man, it was a loss. It was a massive loss. I repented. I went on my knees. I told myself, farming, me,
it's not it.
Paula.
So how did you get back into coffee then?
My mom. I noticed my mom. Mothers are funny. They have things they do on the side they never tell you. Yeah, because, I think they're also trying out, but also it's their safety net to say should shit happen, they'll be able to recuperate their money and then do something. Or perhaps they're also doing it for you. So we went somewhere and I was asking her, by the way, you've been saving up some money. What are you doing? She's like, yeah, we do things, I'm like, no, I'm serious. I want to get into something. I want to learn something. She told me I'm into coffee farming. I'm like, really? Take me where it is. She took me. And then she tells me, you see, I used to take on loans. But now, I don't, because I'm confident that every single time I need money, I just go harvest coffee and sell it, and I have money. Like, really? She's like, yeah. How do you think I've been able to educate some of your siblings? Wow, okay. I'm here in Kampala, being burnt by sun, trying to hustle my way through. Someone is seated in Kampala, makes a few phone calls, harvests the coffee, and then sells it off. It's like, okay. As again, I'm very nimble with money. I got the money. I had some 4 acres that my dad left. We went and planted with my mom. And that's how I started the journey. And here we are now. Okay. I'm waiting for my 4th year so that I can take my daughter. I'm like, yeah, Amani, there goes your wealth now. I don't want you to suffer. Anytime you need money, drive the car, come here. Sell some coffee and you're good to go.
What are the projected, I don't know if you might have this, but what are the projected returns? So you know how you said with garlic, the guy was telling you spend, which seems, spend 500, make 10 million. For coffee, what would be that?
Coffee is seasonal,
yes.
But if you're to even it out maybe, you're guaranteed at least in an acre about, if you're good harvest, about $1 million a month. That is salary for many people here by simply harvesting. About $1 million a month. If you stretch it out a year, about 10 to 15 million a year, depending on how good the harvests are. But that is, for me, salary, what excites me is that salary for someone who is working 8 to 8, full 12 hours.
Yeah.
And all you do is simply go harvest, dry, and sell.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was like, this is really good. So it's a serious side hustle now. Yeah. This is an actual side hustle. Mm-hmm. You don't need to come and do all this. Yeah. But of course, you have to remotely go supervise, check on the things. Right. But it gives you enough time for you to do other things as it matures.
Right.
Other than that, I told you I'm also putting money on the side in the NSSF Smart Life Flex again.
Yes, in fact, you're the person I here to ask this question because I asked, I think, Malaika, who was the first guest we had, because you talked about the Smart Life and you talked about being, by the time you're 16, you're able to access
if you're just 16, it's that simple. And they made it so simple that you just get the app. If you're Ugandan and you have a national ID, which is what is expected, punch in your national ID, open an account.
So that, in fact, that's the question I asked Malaika. So you can get your ID at 16?
Yeah, you can get your ID at 16. Kids that in high school are getting their ID, so you can get your ID. And once you have your ID, you can start your investment journey because you're guaranteed at least 12% and above at the end of the year. Banks sometimes don't even offer that much. Even other options don't offer that much, but you have the opportunity to invest as low as 5,000 Ugandan shillings. 5,000 is about $1.50, $1.5, literally. And any grown person can at least afford 5,000 to put it out there. And the best part, you can even see your money growing slowly, and you don't even have to make a line. Simply mobile money. Money is gone, it's saved. And the interest keeps coming through. You can see your money growing. And it's a very low risk way to invest the money, regardless of the money. And it keeps going for you. So I think it's a very clever investment. It's a very beautiful product for an everyday person to invest in without feeling like it's very risky. Because many Ugandans have a challenge. They could invest in insurance policies, but sometimes they require you to commit a bit steeply and for many years. And the fear is, what if I lose my job next year? What happens?
How do you keep up with it?
How do you keep up? But with this voluntary kind of investment and saving, you're sure if this month it's okay, I will save. Next month is okay. If it's not, I will not save. So it's voluntary. Okay. Yeah, so I'm also doing that. And I'm doing it for a couple of reasons. One, to ensure that my daughter has access to education. Two, I can afford a vacation when I want to. So I'm doing that so that I can be able to have that money available to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like you have a really sound money ecosystem and like money plan.
It's small, right?
Yeah. I mean, for like the structure. Yeah,
an average person.
Yeah, I mean, you have a business, you have two the places you invested for business.
Yes.
You have the more conventional ones where there's returns and whatever.
Yes.
And then
so I have something that meets everyone at their level.
Yes.
Because I know not everyone is very up there with the knowledge. I want to invest in this and this. I've told you before, I am invested in Bitcoin. Yeah, because it's something that I know I can just put there and leave it to grow.
Yeah.
And whichever the point it goes, if I want to incorporate my finances back, I can do that.
Yeah.
So everyone can invest where they are.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to take rocket science. There are options available to every person to invest their money, especially in the times that we live in. Yeah.
Okay. Last question I have for you. What's your happiest financial or money memory or money related memory?
For me, it was last year. I was able to host my entire family and extended members in my home. As a young person, that all expenses paid, meals, transport, everything. They came to my home for the entire Sunday. Kids were playing in the compound. I felt like, a cartel drug lord, like, I've got my shit together. Come on. So for me, it was a happy moment because I want to have those moments more frequently. I want to be able to have my family coming in and they're able to feel secure in my environment, in my presence, knowing that I exist in their life should be some sense of security. So when I was able to do that, I felt a very fulfilled man.
Okay.
Not many young people can do that. Because it was about 20 people. You know what it takes to feed 20 people?
And if you're covering transport.
Exactly, everything. I don't worry about anything. Just pick yourselves. I'll pay for everything. Transport, fuel, everything.
How long did it take you to save up to have enough money to do that?
It didn't take long. I already had the money. Yeah.
So it's already there, so it was just...
I just made up my mind towards Christmas. I think it's a good idea for me to bring my family here so that they can actually be with me. I told them, you know what, this December, just come. It was like 4 weeks. Come, all expenses paid.
That's fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
that's a good. I haven't done that. I think it can put it on my bucket list.
exactly.
It's
very
my
fulfilling.
family
It's very fulfilling. I got their wives, their children, everyone. It's like, wow, this is really beautiful. And if I can be able to do this every now and then, I would feel fulfilled. That now my money life is somehow in order. If my people are happy, yeah, of course I'm happy. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Reagan, for coming. Thank you for coming to Financially Incorrect and sharing your
Thank
money
you
story.
so much for hosting me.
Yeah, I mean, definitely picked a lesson or two and understood a bit more about different, not only quality assurance, but different elements of farming and what that looks like. Thanks so much for coming on Financially Incorrect. We've appreciated it. And thank you so much for watching. We will see you guys on the next episode of Financially Incorrect Uganda edition.